Welcome to my channel. I am Tammy Toshnik and this is Messages for the Signs. This video will be for Aries for the week of September 5th. Already into the first week of September. So much is going on out there, isn't there? I hope that you will come here to find clarity, some guidance, take a little bit of a break from your everyday life, and we can talk about all things spirituality, psychic phenomenon, intuition, spirit, animal communication, whatever else we may want to discuss on this particular day. And hopefully that, again, you will receive some guidance. You'll find this worthwhile and you will enjoy it. I guess that's all I have to say here. So as I said, we will begin with Aries. And I'm going to light a candle for you, Aries, because we all need a little light, don't we? A little more light in our lives. There we go. And then before we begin, let's just listen and raise our vibration. Hopefully this sounds okay. Sometimes with camera phones, sound is not as pure as if you were in person. So let's just give it a go. Right, Aries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 6 cards, 3 from each deck. And then at the end, I'm going to give you the opportunity, oh, these are all flipping over. I'm going to give you the opportunity to choose your own card as well. So I hope that's something that you will enjoy. Aries. What does Aries need to know for their best and highest good this week? And I apologize for all those sounds. I'm not the only one in the house. And my door is open, so I can hear cars driving by. That's something that you're going to get to know if you're new here. That I'm living a real life over here. That means there are noises, interruptions, doorbells, phones, dogs barking. Aries. Guide me to Aries. Aries, you need your fight. You need that warrior spirit. It feels like for some of you, you may have lost, or let's not say lost. You may have been put on the back burner, Aries. Need to bring that warrior spirit forward, Aries. Feels like some of you may be down in the dumps, that old saying. Feeling a little low. Like the fight has gone out of you, Aries. All right. Okay, Aries, you have chop wood, co-create, time to go, golden palace, magic stream, and follow the leader. So it does have some of that energy that I was just speaking of. I feel like some of you are disheartened because something has come to an end here, or it hasn't worked out the way that you were hoping or praying for, the way that you've been working towards. Time to go is very literal. It's a card that I typically read as literal, in that it is something has ended, it's time for you to go. Now, endings are typically challenging. They can be even painful. But in this instance, Aries, this can be more of an acceptance that you have learned all that you needed to learn in this situation, in this relationship, with this job. And so it doesn't have to be as painful or chaotic. It just means it's an acceptance that this has come to an end. Now, chop wood is interesting, because this is telling me there's not a lot for you to do here, Aries, that you have done it. Perhaps that was the energy I was picking up at the very beginning, this disheartened energy. And it feels like you're struggling with what next to do. And this is telling me, you know what, there isn't a lot for you to do right now. This is a pause. It feels like a pause in the energy, a time to reflect and remember that you are not responsible for creating everything in your life, that we are in a partnership with spirit. We can be in partnership with other people as well, of course, but that we are always in a partnership with spirit, even if other partnerships end, or as is suggested, you are leaving a partner behind, something that you were working on with someone else behind. This is telling me that you are at that space, you have accepted that. And so you might be wondering, well, what next to do? And in this case, and remember, this energy is really just for the next few days, the next week or so. This is saying, just do what you know how to do. Don't worry about the big dream. Don't worry about trying to create something fantastic right now. Just do the mundane, the monotonous, even the chores, the things that sometimes we take for granted. But I can tell you from experience that this is something that I advise people to do when they are struggling with what next to do, when there are too much going on in our minds and we're feeling overwhelmed, or we really just feel kind of stuck. The idea is, you know what, if you feel like you have to do something, you have energy to expend, then spend time cleaning your house, organizing your closets, going through your paperwork, all of those sorts of things. Because what ends up happening when we shift our energy from something that is consuming us or that we are challenged by, we shift it to something that is familiar, comfortable, again, doesn't require a lot of mental acuity or focus, like housework, like organizing, etc. What ends up happening is it's almost like a meditation. It's not as deep a meditation as we can get into as human beings, but it is definitely in the same realm. And so what ends up happening is our brain then is given this opportunity to just sort of free form, and that's when we come up with ideas. Have you ever had that time, or those times when you're in the shower, or you're washing dishes, or you're organizing your garage, and you start to feel better, not only because your body is moving, but because your mind has been allowed to be free. And then that's how creativity works. It comes in through those moments. When we are worrying or in pain or fearful, our creativity all but shuts down. Our intuition certainly subsides. And so when we do those things like housework, organizing, gardening, etc., it allows that opportunity for the spark to rise to the surface. So this is what this is calling for you. And it's also the reminder that you aren't doing this alone. That even if you've had to leave a partner, leave a relationship or a job, as Time to Go suggests, that you are always in partnership with yourself and the divine. Now, Golden Palace speaks about feeling like our needs are going to be met. So perhaps in this ending, you may be worried about money. You may be worried about your next paycheck, and Golden Palace is here to remind you that your needs are always going to be met, that you have set that up for yourself, even if in the moment it doesn't feel that way. And then with Magic Stream, this is talking about being in the flow of abundance. And so these two together, Golden Palace and Magic Stream, tells me that you are worried about finances, about money, perhaps your next job, or even starting another business, etc. And this is here to remind you that you have everything you need. Now, Follow the Leader, I really enjoy these two together because they have the same energy to me, even though they're from the different decks. Follow the Leader does ask you to step into that leadership role. So this may feel like you've left your security blanket. That's what it feels like to me. That's what I'm being prompted to say, that you're leaving, your security blanket, you're leaving it behind. Perhaps you built something with other people, or you were so used to relying on other people, and now you are going to be the one that other people are going to be relying on, and in particular, you are going to be relying on yourself, and that's the way forward. I don't see any way around this for you, Aries, and I think it's important for your evolution, your growth, to embark on this new cycle. Even though you are afraid or worried, it's going to work out for you. It's going to benefit you. But you're just at that very beginning. You're ending, and the new thing hasn't begun yet. And you have to remember, we're just constantly cycling circles and circling cycles, and around and around and around we go. So nothing truly ends and nothing truly begins. It just flows into the next. Magic Stream speaks of that as well, that there is no past, present, future. There is no ending and beginning, that everything just flows one into the other. So you might be worried as well, Aries, about something that has ended, and you're getting caught up in that emotional pull of worrying about something ending and feeling nostalgic even about it. But this is saying, you know what, it's time for you to step up. You're the leader. And again, why I like these two cards together, you've got the path. There's a path here. You are on the right path, even though all of this is happening right now with you, Aries. And then you've got the dock here, which is, if you want to think of it as a path as well. So this tells me you were on the right path, but you have to probably deal with some emotional fallout from something ending, or even if it's an ending, again, as I said at the beginning, that you welcomed, because you're ready for the next step. You're ready for this next adventure. There's still feelings to deal with. So go back to what you know how to do. Chop wood, carry water, and remember that you are co-creating all the time. You aren't creating anything on your own. None of us create anything on our own, whether that be with other people or with spirit. Alrighty, I hope that helps you. And now you get to choose your own message, Aries. All right. Give you a moment to look at these. Perhaps some of you are visual. So we'll go this way. So this will be card 1, 2, and 3. So take a moment. What is calling to you here? 1, 2, or 3. Alrighty. Well, you can't make this stuff up, Aries. Honestly. Oh my goodness. So if you chose 1, remember our old friend, chop wood, in the same position, the first card position. So that is just the reminder. If you were questioning what I said earlier, Yeah, if you chose card 1 Aries, this is telling you just get back to basics, do the things you know how to do. You may be overthinking right now, overfeeling, and so one of the best ways I know how to move that energy, aside from meditation or exercise or talking with a friend, is plain old housework. Clean up your house, clean up your garage, organize drawers, go through your clothing, etc. And that's going to help you move through some of this energy. It's almost as though when we take our eye off the big dream, the big picture, it gives this opportunity for other things to sort of come in, almost sneak in, if you will. So there you go. I think that's really funny, considering that was such an important card in the initial reading. And then not for you, very similar. So if you chose card 2, not for you, very similar to time to go, a very literal card. This always tells me that we are being denied something, or it feels like something's being denied us. And there's always that old saying that I think of every time I see this card is rejection is God's protection. So this isn't for you. This isn't for you in this iteration, in this way. And then typically we get quite upset with that and disillusioned. But how about if we turn that around into thinking, okay, so then I wonder what bigger and better opportunity is on its way to me now. Something wasn't denied you because you were unworthy or you're not good enough. It's being denied you, if we were using that language, because it wasn't good enough for you. Not that you weren't good enough, that it wasn't good enough for you. So this is a validation for those of you who chose to, that the entire reading, the entire previous reading is all about ending, that something definitely isn't coming in the way that you had hoped. If you chose 3, fork in the road, and this I love as well because I spoke about making a choice or taking a path, etc. So if you chose 3, you've got fork in the road. Again, a validation that you are at a crossroads and you've had to make a choice. Now, what I like about fork in the road is that it isn't about necessarily one choice is better than the other. It's really about the process of choosing and removing that roadblock from your path. So this is talking about paths as well, that you were on the right path. However, there are choices to be made, or you had to make a choice if we're looking at the last few days, the energy for that for you, Aries. So I really do enjoy how these 3 came up because they're representing what we just spoke about. And that is no accident. So I hope that helped you for the week, Aries, and I hope to see you here next week. Take care.